All right, we're getting started now. I already started it, but hey, I don't want it to make it too professional because I want it to be anything. But just getting started. We're here at UTRGV, or like we're in Edinburgh right now, and this is about students, their life, what's going on with them. UTRGV, the Valley. We also engineers. I'm an engineer, mechanical engineering, and you also a mechanical engineer. So it's about that. But I'm here with Jacky, the great Jacky. We met through the ASME organization, the mechanical engineering.
Yes.
And you were the vice president. And now, like I remember, it feels very podcasty. The lighting really helps. But I remember, so I had an internship in Cleveland, and I called. Somebody gave me a number, and then I talked to you.
Yes.
And then I came back and I had no idea
who I was.
And then you were like, "Hey, are you the person?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah." So, but I guess we knew each other for like the previous year.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you're Jacky. You're the vice president of the organization, and we got the chance to go to Pennsylvania, and we got to get a little bit closer, right? And
Yes.
We talked about a little bit about life and what was going on. And so now I'm gonna open it up. Talk about whatever you want to talk about, whether it is who you are, what your past is. That's a good place to start. Maybe what we talked about, but we also had a conversation prior to this too. So you can bring it over. Yeah, what do you think?
Now we start. Yeah, we started a podcast. We talked it over about during the trip.
Yeah.
He mentioned to me. He was like, "I don't think this girl's too sure," but like the next day, I was like, "Hey, like I actually want to do this podcast. About things that people just don't really show out there or try to hide. There's things that people don't really like bring it up.
Yeah.
Like people tend to hide things, and us humans just tend to ignore the obvious. Especially because of society and the place we're in.
Yeah.
And now we're here talking, and I guess one of the topics a lot is that people are not very expressive about themselves and their feelings, and people tend to hide a lot how they feel, because of their surroundings, I think. And I feel because in the Valley has a lot of culture, so because of your culture and background, you just tend to fall into those backgrounds, I guess.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you go against your backgrounds and cultures, just interferes with your own inner self and interferes with your family part, and the disrespect of it, I guess. So
what do you mean by the
disrespect to your parents, how can you dare, my parents came over to the US, right, for me to have a better life.
Yeah.
You base it off of that.
Yeah.
So there will never be enough for me to repay for them for that.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Gotcha.
There would never just be enough for me to repay that. It's just something that just never has no value, And I'm always gonna be grateful for that. But even then, I'm always gonna be grateful for them for doing that for me. There's other things in the way that I just got hurt a lot by my family.
Yeah.
And it just kind of based off to things that you just hide to yourself, because you're trying to be one person out there in the real world and with society. And then you're trying to be that person that people want you to be. And then you're trying to be yourself, and it just falls into 3 categories.
Okay, you want to be yourself, and then you want to also be what other people want you to be.
Yeah.
And then you also want to be what?
So a whole society. So I want to base people because the people around you are another part. Yeah. And you have society about how the world's supposed to see you.
Yeah.
And it's just 3 different views of yourself.
Yeah.
So I put myself sometimes in seeing myself in 3 different pictures, and sometimes I just want one, and why can't I just be happy in that place?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I feel you. I feel you.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's just very fucked up. You feel very fucked up, especially because everything else around you, what you're trying to succeed.
Yeah.
We're all trying to succeed, and just kind of there's just things where when people help you, you don't need them, it's just a mental thing inside of yourself fighting, and the only one that has control over it is yourself. And I guess that's just the hardest part because it's you don't know how to deal with that.
Yeah.
And I don't think nobody is ready to deal with that.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's just a process that you have to learn yourself process that you go through, and then throughout the process,
you
don't know what's gonna come like up front you, and it's just like myself, like I always been a strong person, I guess, very independent, and I never needed nobody in my life. And I just kind of broke down one day, and it's just like everything went like to how like I just kind of forgot who I was, and I still am in the process, and I just like I forgot who I was, and then sometimes as I try to help myself, like I had people around me that know me for years, and I asked them like, who do you think I am, and like they kind of started describing me and stuff, and like I never realized I was that type of person, I didn't even know I made that much of a change or helped in their life. And I just kind of based off myself and like collecting all that information to myself, and like telling myself like, hey, you're worth it, like you're. I just kind of like that kind of just build up the person I was before, but I'm not trying to be the person I was before, because if I do that, then I will fall in the same place I am now. I'm trying to be the better of that. I'm trying to put that in the past, because I'm constructing somebody better myself.
Before the way you behaved, people were praising you or were saying that you were actually doing really good for them.
Yeah, that was always I want to say complimented.
Right.
Or in a way, you always like honored and stuff. Like, hey, great job, like all this stuff. I was always exceeding at whatever I did. I'm always trying to exceed of everything I do.
Yeah.
Whatever's in my hands, the best of it. And like they still people do, when the transition happened in my life, people were just like, what happened, Like they were like, yo, like this is not you. This is not the person, And it's like I'm like you can't even give them an answer, because you don't even know what's happening.
Yeah.
So like at the same point, like when people are telling you like, guess up, like what's happening, it's just like you're like in panic mode too, because you're like, I don't even know how to answer that. Like stop answering me, because like it gets into your mind.
Okay.
Kind of a way.
Yeah.
And but I mean, there's always, you just gotta go out there. Like people like I remember one thing that one of my friends told me, that she went through a rough time and mentally too, and I actually reached out to her. I remember, because I was like, there's nobody else that could understand me, When I went to her, one of the things she told me was, if people offer you help, then get it, Like, don't be stubborn, don't, like, shit, because there's actually good people out there, People do want you, and, like, if they give you help, do it. And she like, I understand if you don't want it, because I was in the mind state where, like, even if I went with a counselor, let's say, I was like, no, like, you're getting paid for this, like, like, I'm not here for you to feel pity for myself. I was in that state of mind, and like I understood, like, hey, they might get paid for it, right? Whatever, but like maybe I can get something out of it, or me, like that's what their job based on, and I'll have their backgrounds too,
Right.
So when she told me that, I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like I reached out to people that actually wanted to help me, And at some point, it was helping me in a way, That's and like good. I noticed that not everybody's bad. Like if people want to help you, you should let them.
Awkward pause. No, no. But I think that's a really good point about helping. Like when I was, I guess I had a problem before as well, and then that's how I felt. So it was during high school, and I guess I was kind of depressed, and it sort of like I didn't want anybody to know, and I didn't want to get rid of it. But I guess I was just alone for a while, and I didn't know how to cope with being alone.
Mm-hmm.
And then I didn't know who to ask for help. And then once I told the professor, and then after that, it led to it was awkward steps, because like kind of part of the problem was my family, and so the issue they're like, why are you depressed? And I'm like, I don't want to talk about it because I'm talking about you. I don't want to be talking about you. I don't know. So, but then we kind of went through like a counselor. We talked with the principal. We also and then they kind of reflected. Then my brother also talked to me, and he told me about his own issue. And so, it's sort of those little things kind of help. And then after sort of saying it out loud kind of made it real, because not talking about it made me think like it's not there. And then you don't know what depressed people are like or how it is. You know, you have your own feelings like, oh, this is not depression. This is not what it is. You just kind of like, you just try to go on with your life, but it's like this dark thing that you feel like, I want to get rid of it. Like, why doesn't it go down, go away? And it's ruining like my desires for my future and stuff. So, so you made it real, and it also, now that you made it real, now I can try to fix it. And then after that, my parents were more aware, but I also kind of like looked for help. And then I went for counseling as well here. But I felt it was better, like during the transition to college, it kind of felt better. But I also went to a counselor, and then just it was good. So going to, just saying, like going to UTRGV, the counseling center, it's really good, right? I think so. Like it's a underused service, I think. And then a lot of people think, hey, I don't need that or whatever, but I think it's, and then they feel the stigma or whatever reason.
Yeah, it's just a mentality, because I myself, I can put myself in that place, because when I went the first time, I was like, actually the university took me. I didn't really want to go.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then I was kind of like, I wouldn't say forced, but I was just in the spot, like, hey, you need help, and took me and put me in an appointment, and I was like, I literally told the counselor, and I was like, I don't want to tell you anything because I don't want you to feel pity. I literally told her that.
Yeah.
I was like, you're getting paid for this.
Yeah.
And for you guys to have pity and hear me. I was like, oh, yeah. I don't think so, And I was just very close-minded at the time, because I was like, no, like, it's something I can, like, overcome or whatever. I didn't think it was that bad of a deal.
Yeah.
But then, like, as it kept going, and then I went for help myself because I stopped going. I saw that, hey, like, it's a process, and I'm starting, and it's actually help other, and then they made you, like, one of the other things my friend had told me was, like, hey, you need to organize your feelings, in categories.
Right.
And, like, that's one of the things I guess counseling has been helping me.
I feel like your friend, she's like a counselor. She's been really good. She really
because I went straight to her, because she's have very psychological things and counselor-wise, so many years of her whatever she's going on, and...
Oh, okay. Yeah, you were saying that she had issues.
So she had been through a path where, like, I just never seemed to understood her until I personally went through that,
Right.
And, like, it was just, like, damn. Like, she told me you need to categorize your emotions and your feelings, to understand a lot of things. And once you do that, like, you'll see a lot of difference. Yeah. And I think in counseling, like, right now in therapy, like, it's helping me, like, hey, what do you feel? And then what is that? Okay, this is hurt, This is like 20% of whatever, like, why you're lost, or 30% of why, like,
Could you explain it? So what do you mean?
Like, you can base it off, like, hey, you're hurt. So, hurt, you would say, is it by people? Is it by your family and stuff? So, like, at the end, you categorize, like, a lot, like, hey, I was hurt. You've been hurt a lot. That's what they go over. And my depression comes a lot from hurt, Yeah. Not from being alone, not from, like, whatever. It comes from the people, how they hurt me, And, like, those people, how much they meant for me. And why they're there. So all those feelings, I suppressed it in myself. Is why I'm being consumed with what I'm right now. Gotcha. Technically. Gotcha. So
how do you overcome that hurt? Because does it matter what the section comes from? Do they say, like, if it's people, or like it's more a reflective thing? Then did you feel like a realization? Like, do you realize, oh shit, actually it comes mostly from
she figured it out, because as you're talking and they're asking you, like, hey, what do you see in that picture? You're talking like, hey, I feel darkness. I feel like you get the emotions at the moment. You just kind of say it aloud, and then you realize, like, oh fuck, like, like, it's pretty fucking bad, Yeah. And it's just something that's repressed, and then she's like, oh, like, it seems like you're hurt, like, you're full of hurt. Yeah. And then I hadn't realized it. I just thought it was just a lot of things, in my life. And then I figured out, like, hey, I'm full of hurt. Like, this is why I'm like this. Yeah. Right? Because I suppressed, let's say, 20 years of my life of hurt. And then one day when I exploded, it just kind of, like, everything came out, because I would never, like, get help. I was always strong, independent, like, I never wanted help. I was like, I got this. Like, nothing can overcome me. Yeah. And when that day came and destroyed me, I was like, shit, like, it wasn't going to be a small thing to, like, in a week I can get over, or in a month. It's something.
It's not something that you can get over.
Been taking me like almost 2 semesters to analyze.
2 semesters. Holy cow!
Yeah. See, it's crazy, and it's like it started out small, and now it's like big, and I'm trying to fix it. You know.
Yeah.
And it's hard at the times because there's days where everybody's outreaching to you, and it's like, okay, and like there's days where like I don't want to talk to nobody, and I don't want to text nobody, and people are just reaching out to me and calling me, and it hurts because like I stay in my room all day isolated, because I can't with the world, you know, I just can't, I can't, I just feel like crazy. Like there was days where I get out, go to school, and I was like, okay, like today I can talk to people. And there's days where like, no, I'm serious. Yeah. And there's days where like I stayed in my room all day, sad and just like feeling worthless because I couldn't with the world. Yeah, no,
I couldn't. I felt a little bit. I think you might feel that a lot more, but I do remember I was like this, like, ah, shit, like, I also felt like I wanted to be by myself because it's like it feels like this dirty thing that you're carrying. And then you don't want people to see. Kind of like maybe you're on your underwear or something like that. And you just don't want to go outside because you want to, but you can't. So you're kind of like hiding. And then it feels very uncomfortable. So like having, at least for me, like going out there is like, kind of like when you were saying about, I can talk to people today. You know, it's kind of like the mentality that I was having, like, oh, today I feel relatively good. I can talk to people. But it was like that tension of like, am I gonna wake up with that feeling in there, and then it's gonna fuck up my day, and it's like I think it's so dumb. Like, it's just, and then
you sometimes don't know where you get this feeling, you know. Yeah. There were 3 of like, why in the world can I just get out of my bed, you know? And I wouldn't eat, like I was depressed. Yeah. And then there's still days like that, and it's hard because like I wouldn't even show up to work. I'm late. I was never at work. I wouldn't go to school. I wouldn't go to class. And it's sad because, like, you think about it, you're like, damn, like, that's my career's there, which means your dreams and your goals. And it's sad seeing them go down the line, you know, and then you have work. Right. And then it's like, you can't even do one thing or the other, you know, like, or I couldn't even speak out to my family, you know, it's like, you couldn't do anything. I just got, like, anxiety attacks. I just got, like, depression, you know, and it's just, like, 2 things that just can't, like, you can't even, if somebody came in my room while I was having that, like, I can't even talk to them because I don't know how. Yeah. Like, the best thing for a person is just to, like, come and, like, whatever, hug you to calm down, you know? Like, there's things that you just can't explain. You just, like, it's just something mental, and like they won't know until like gone through it. Yeah, you know. Yeah. And it's just something mental that by yourself you overcome, and you know. Yeah. You know. And people that haven't gone through it will never understand. You know, when you try your best, they won't. They won't because they don't know the feeling. You think it's easy, and when I didn't go through it, and my friends who are, and I thought it was like, hey, it's gonna be great, and I was there for the support at all times. But I didn't really understand to that level where they would tell me, you know? And it's sad because now I'm there and I'm like, damn, like, this is how it feels. And it's freaking shitty. It's, like, super shitty. Yeah. And it's like, what do, you know? Yeah. How do you cope with this shit? Yeah. And, like, there's never a right way because everybody's different. Yeah. And, like, everybody has different hurt. Everybody has different depression, you know? For some people, some shit happened in their life, whatever, like, we all go through some shit. Yeah, it's just everybody has different stories, you know. It's like hey, let me hear your story. Like, is it shittier than mine? It's like, and it's sad because like that's how you compare it, like literally, and it's. I think it's fucking sad because like it's like oh like shit, like I thought I was worried. Like your story is pretty like fucked up, like you know, like. And then you meet somebody else and it's more fucked up, and it's like, damn. Yeah. But then they're like, you had it pretty fucked up too. So like, you don't know what's like. You can't really rank or give value to anything, you know. Yeah. Because it's just feelings. It's just emotions and feelings that you can't express, you know. My mother, she's a teacher, and she was telling me the same thing. She was a counselor for a little while. That you know, there's some students where the parents are the worst. Like they're never there, or they're doing drugs or. I don't know. They have a lot of issues with their, eating and stuff. But the kid is doing fine. The kid is like, nothing. Like he's going, he's happy, he's got lots of friends, everything. And then there's kids that like everything seems fine, but then they just kind of any little thing, and then they break. Yeah.
But it's just like different people are different ways, and
I used to be that kid that everything was going like hell on their back. And like you see me at school and everything's like, hey, fine, like I got this, like nothing's wrong.
Yeah.
And now I'm like the complete opposite, you know.
But you feel like you.
Yeah, but like.
Have you been getting better? Do I have a different impression that you have? Because I feel like you're doing good.
I'm trying to get better because I'm going for help. You know, looking. I painted. I blog. I do. You know, all these things to like express myself to see what actually helps me. You know. Because if I isolate to one thing and it's not working, I'm just staying stuck at the same place, you know?
Yeah, that's good.
And it's because I want better for myself and I know I'm a better self. There's like a little spark inside or a little light inside of me that's like, hey, I know you still like engineering, you know? It's like, hey, like you still have that passion because it's hard. Like maybe that die, you never know, you know? Maybe that's killing you. And then I have that part where like, hey, like you still love people, like be vulnerable to them, you know? And then you have that part where I'm like, shit, like, is this all you have? Like, you're as big as you see yourself, you know?
Yeah.
Remember I told you that?
Yeah.
So if you're as big as you see yourself, I'm like, if I saw myself as that fucking great with my own company, you know, like whatever in a couple of years, I'm just like, I still see that picture.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and to get to that picture, I have to know what I'm doing right now. I'm like, and I had to accept the fact that I needed help. I needed to accept the fact that I need to reach out to people that I didn't want to. But they're part of the process, you know? And it's like, because of that, it's just very hurtful for you. Because you're like, at the end, it's going to help you. But you're in the way where you're like in denial and like don't want to. You know, because you think you know better. But then I know definitely that I'm not going in the right place, you know? I'm just, I need help and I'm doing that. And it's like, because I know
when you
I want better.
Yeah, you're in the right place. You mean like decision-wise or feeling-wise? Like you feel like your emotions are getting worse, or do you feel like you're making bad decisions, or what do you mean by what you're? Never mind.
Well, I guess I don't know if I understand your question, but like I guess I'm going in directions that I want to get where I want.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to fix both things because they're both together.
Yeah.
You can't just fix one and not the other. Because they cause and effect. Right? So it's like, it's just a compartment that are just together. It's like that part where I blog where you see light and darkness. One, they both rely on each other.
Yeah.
You can't do one without the other. So the relativity together, they're just variables that are together. You know?
Yeah.
You have to do them together in order for it to function. It's like an equation that we do.
Yeah.
You need something for it, right?
Yeah.
Missing one variable, nothing works.
Right.
So it's the same shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying I just can't. Like, I got kind of lost too with what you were saying.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how to explain to you. It's just no things or emotions are like, I'm telling you, you can't just explain. Like, you try so hard. It's just like, fuck, how do I say that? You know, like in words. It's like, I guess another reason I can compare it to is love. When you're in love, I guess you can't express it. You just show it. You know, and sometimes you just have so much in there you can't express it. You can't really like let that person know how much you love them, and not by just showing them. You know, and like not by just doing things, but just like showing them for real, like the real love. You know, and like I don't know, I go like into dimensions and gravity then. So like I feel like it's a feeling that goes through those things. You know, like it's something that I can't define. You know how in space and time out there you can't change it, but the only thing you can change is gravity. Right. The only thing you can change or can't change is gravity, right?
Wait, what? The
dimensions.
So the gravitational constant, it's the same. It doesn't change, but you can increase the gravity
through dimensions. Yes, you can.
Oh, and if there was a different universe, the gravitational constant would change.
That's what I think. It's only one of the variables you can change from it, right?
Right.
If you go into that further.
Okay.
So, like, that's how I feel like emotions are sometimes. And feelings. It's just a weird comparison that I put, but it's just, I feel like it's the only way, you know, like, I don't know. I don't know how to explain to you in that sense, but That's how I just see the world. In a way, I guess. But yes, there's a lot to life, and
there's a lot to life. Yeah.
Yes, definitely, and that's just a little part of myself that a lot of people don't know, and they think.
Well, a lot of people would know now.
Would know
but
now.
will know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just like it's a thing part of life.
I just don't show that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And it's not a thing that I don't think it's a thing that defines you. And then like and since I guess I'm kind of getting off the point, but I'm so again I just want to bring it. I'm surprised, like how you don't know what people are going through. You just see them every day and. They're fine. They look fine.
Yeah, they're basing off of by your actions too sometimes. And they're like, no, I see you doing all this and stuff. And it's like, you don't even know what I use it for, But
it's good.
Because I'm trying to escape from something and people explain like that. And so I'm just trying to like heal like whatever I'm hurting on. Yeah. Because sometimes it gets really bad and people will go against the things you do. And I understand that, but they don't really know you, And they're not going to understand. They're going to judge you by your actions and stuff.
But that's not everybody.
Without them knowing the meaning. No, I know, but mostly a majority of people, That's because that's how society sees it nowadays. I'm not saying that everybody, but it's just like, that's another reason why you just don't talk to people, because you might think that they have good intentions too, but in reality they're not, Yeah. They're in your back, like saying whatever, or like maybe saying more information that you shouldn't have said,
Yeah. I guess, is this a good example in cases of like, you make plans, or you want to make plans with somebody, and you're like, hey, do you want to go? And then they're like, yeah, of course. And you tell them Thursday. Okay, Thursday. And then Thursday again, I'm busy. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool, thanks. And I'll be waiting forever. And, oh, wait. I wasn't. Okay, so something happened, but I wasn't talking about. Do you feel like I was talking about your like? No, for real. I swear. See, I sweared. It was no, but like today, like this is what happened. Like, I was supposed to meet with a couple of people for research, and then I was gonna mentor them, and so they just didn't show up, but. They just reminded me of like times where people do say yes, but don't do it. And then like I feel like, it could mean like, or sometimes it can mean like they don't really want to be your friend, or maybe they're just kind of pretending something, but it's something else. They just want their own thing, and then they just don't want to tell you.
Yeah, so they just come and get what they want, they grab, and then they leave. It's like when you go to the grocery store, you get what you want and you leave, right? You don't stay around caring for the customers or the employees, right? So it's, I feel like people
don't and sometimes I try to ask them like, hey, do you want to be straight with me, like what's going on? But people are not straight, and then it's not the expectative.
Yeah, that's another thing I feel like around us. Like, people are just not straight up or blunt with you. I guess that's another thing with me. Yeah. I'm just very, like, blunt and honest with people all the time, And people have told me directly, and they're like, hey, I actually like the person you are for being like this type. Right. And I'm like, yeah, do you prefer a hypocrite or a fake person? Like, obviously nobody does, right? And sometimes it hurts them because I tell them the truth, and they don't hear that from everybody. Right. And it's like, shit. Like, sometimes they'll get offended. Sometimes they'll tell me, like, hey, fuck yeah. Like, thank you for telling me that, Right. And it's like, it sucks because I feel like a lot... Maybe in a lot of majors, or like in school, or in engineering, or just in general in college, everybody just like does their own thing, which is okay. Like, I understand, but like sometimes they just like go like they just use you, and want this and that. And like when shit went wrong in school or whatever with me, like I honestly saw like who was there or not, or who was just using me, specifically like in classes and stuff. And I was just like going down like. I really thought we were friends, and it's like, oh shit, like we weren't, like you're honestly like just here for the work, Yeah. And, like once everything went downhill for me, and I was like, oh, you know what, like I'm not even going to class or whatever. They're like, what the fuck, like, I had some individuals actually tell me like what the fuck is wrong with you, like like they were gonna fail because of me, and I was like, and I remember one of them too was telling me like, told me off because I had like work, but like a backup work. And I just never touched those things because I was always about my own work. And this individual just, like, got mad at me because I told him that I erased all that work because I didn't need it. And he just, like, kind of told me off that, like, he didn't do his work, But he told me it was my fault that he was gonna fail because I don't want to give him somebody else's work. And I was just like very disappointed because I was like, first of all, they didn't give it to you. Second of all, like, you have no right to talk to me for that. Like, who do you think you are to
just say it again. So he was upset at you because
because I didn't give him my work, in a way. Somebody else. Okay. Yeah.
And then
I was just
were you supposed to give him the work?
No, it was nothing related. Like, he didn't do his like whatever, like, I guess assignment.
Yeah, and he wanted your assignment, your solutions.
I had some friend that had given me a backup assignment, whatever. Yeah. For whatever reason, he wanted all that.
Did you tell him that you were gonna give it to him or something?
No, I just told him, I was like, no, I erased it. Like, I was like playing around. I was like, hey, I erased that, like, you know. And he was like mad because like I didn't give him somebody else's work, which is like plagiarism and shit too, right?
Yeah, but so, but I would say, you get a call.
But yeah.
But if you tell somebody, hey, I'm gonna help you out, and then you don't help them out, then that like
no, like he was never helping me out. He was just getting stuff for me, you know.
Right, but if you're telling him like, oh, we help, but that's not. But then
I wasn't
again,
even
like
talking to this guy at the moment. Like,
oh yeah,
he was like he became like away from us and stuff, and like. I don't know where he just like messages me and stuff, you know, like give me your work, you know, and it's like what like what He was like and I was just like, you know, like kind of out of the world.
Yeah, like, but also like when people are just helping you out, like, and they can't, or you just you can't, then it's just reasonable to like, and then they get upset at you because you can't help them. That's not fair. Yeah, they shouldn't get upset because of that. Yeah,
definitely they shouldn't, because first of all, like, you should be responsible for your stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm just here like if you have any questions, but
yeah, I feel like that happens. Like, you start helping somebody, and then the moment that they start relying on you, and you stop helping them because you have your own shit or whatever, and they get after you. You know, like, hey, what? And then they stop talking to you, and then you realize, like you were saying, they just wanted the help.
they just wanted, you know. Yeah. Like that free lunch, you know.
Yeah, they just want the help.
And I say there's no such thing as a free lunch.
Yeah, but I also I'll notice that, you know, there's nice people too. Like I didn't expect or I didn't pay attention to in that kind of. I guess I have bad days, and then I'm all by myself, and then I see like a friend that I feel like we don't connect in a lot of things. Like, we have different views. That I feel like, we're different goals and everything, but he's there, and then he's like, hey, how are you? Like, how are you feeling? What's going on? And then I'm just like, oh, just whatever. And it's like, and he asks, you know, he's curious, and he asks me, I tell him, and then I'm sorry to hear that, but he cares, you know, about me. That little experience made my day feel better, and then it makes me realize, like, you know, there's like people that you don't think about, that is not in your circle, that, you know, you don't, there's good people and they're out there, you know. Like, sometimes when you're by yourself, you feel like everybody's shitty, everybody's an asshole. But no, like, you know, I guess it's just a bad day. You know, it's just a bad day, and then there's good people, and and then there's also, so you have a shitty day, and then you reach out to your friends, and then, I'm busy. I was like, I'm at work. Well, they all say they're busy, right, with one thing or another, but nobody can be there for you. And then you just feel like, oh, well, my friends are shit, you know, and that's what you think. And then you feel like, well, fuck, you know, like, what am I gonna do? Like, I don't have, are they? And then you start questioning everything. But you gotta realize that it's just a shitty day. And it's kind of, or for me, it's clouding the reality of things. Like, they could be shitty people, but you can't say it at that time. You have to have a clear mind. And then sometimes, you know, a lot of shit is going on, and then, but also, well, I guess I have a different perspective. Like, when shitty shit goes down, sometimes it's, you know, I always try to think the better of people, I guess. Like, even when shit is going down. But yeah, a lot of times, I feel like maybe it'd be good to, I guess I don't know. Now it's because I'm reflecting on what you were saying, and I feel like I guess there's not a lot of people I can reach out to, and then the people that they wanted to reach out to, I can't, and then I have to reach out to other people. So then I have to like reconsider what the fuck is going on. You know what I mean? Like, and so it's like that's where I guess I feel like I messed up. You know, like these people that you look, and then there's So that's I'm not saying past tense. This is like present tense of like I'm reviewing like the friendships because I see them pass by and then we're very good. We talk good. We friends, but I try to make plans with them and there's no plans. I try to talk to them and they don't text me back. So, but when I see them, we have a good we talk good and it's like, oh yeah, of course, let's do this, let's do that. And now I'm in a position of like, are you a friend? Are you not a friend? Are we an acquaintance? How could I but I feel like I can't rely on you. So that's one thing I'm still trying to figure out, like, who's there for you? Like, should there be for you? Should not be? You know what I mean? But it's weird because people I feel like I connected with, they're not there for me, and people that don't, kind of like they're there for me. You know what I mean? And then we just kind of realized, like, my family. I feel like my family is very different. Like, I don't feel like we have a lot of things in common, but they're always there for you. And for me, like, the thing that I mostly connect with people now, that regardless, we all have we have good intentions, we care about each other, and we're there to help each other. And that's what, at least for me, is like the thing that I always look for and try to carry, because regardless of whatever you may think, they'll be there. I fight with my grandfather all the time, or I disagree all the time, and I'm upset like 80% because he triggers me. He triggers me all the time, but I know he cares about me. And so that's the way I see it with other people. But I still haven't figured how to categorize those friends, like, quote unquote, that I want because they're cool. They have the same goals that I do, but I can't reach them. You know what I mean? Like, and then I'm like, well, what the hell? So that's where I'm at right now. But like I said, like in terms of, so I guess my problem is like being by myself or solitude, I guess, because I'm an introvert. I like my time by myself. Like, I get exasperated when there's a lot of people, but then that leads to too much time by myself is like depression, right? But I figured like meditation kind of helps, and reaching out to people more, like talking more and trying to change and being optimistic. I think it's the things that lead me. I've been talking too much, but yeah. Sorry, I got off because I thought it was curious, like just reflecting on like my perspective on stuff. It was on the moment type of thing. Yeah.
I just feel like in your spot, I guess, I would say.
What would you say?
I shouldn't try to label anything, like friends or acquaintances. Like, I see, I have a hand, and like I can maybe say I have a good hand of a friend of that I can go to. Yeah. But even then, they're like, oh, sometimes I feel like they're shitty because I'm like, oh, you're work, you're busy, whatever, and it's a time frame where you're like, I need somebody, because like, especially when I would get out of hand on myself, on my mental shit, and then there's those people where like I have no label for it, and it's like sometimes like, you know what, like they might be my best friend, they might be super close friend, whatever, and it's like, no, like they're still acquaintances even when they've been there for me for years, or I just met them, or for whatever reason. But you never know, because like you start labeling and you start expecting too much out of those people.
Oh, really?
And sometimes when you say like, hey, we have same goals and stuff, and as yourself, I have the same goals, and you see yourself busy, you see your time from that. So it's like, picture yourself and as them too, like they also have their own stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, you always try to reach out to whoever that person might understand you and give you hope and stuff,
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, for what you said, I got like not to label people, and then not to expect, everybody. Yeah, like not to expect, don't always go to your best friend.
That's the thing, where we put people so up here, and actually it doesn't come up to that.
Yeah,
and I think that's what hurt us most when we put somebody so high and we just go to it, and it's like, oh shit, like it wasn't that great.
Right. So. Yeah. No, that I agree with you. I try not to like put people more. But that's why, like, of course I do it, right? I fuck up, and I'm like, I have those expectations, and then I get sad that like they're not that, and then I cannot breathe. And I'm like, oh, well. And then the next day I'm like, oh, well, no, it's just that, they have their life. Or try, just being understanding. I get you. But yeah, I guess Yeah, the labels don't help that much.
Shouldn't.
Yeah.
Just,
well, but they're like a helpful guide. No.
Yeah, but
maybe?
no, not really, because like in
good.
society, they're always trying to label something. It's like when you're talking to somebody and you're just talking and going on dates, and you're just like, "What are we?" Right? People are just waiting for a fucking label all the time. Like they're pressuring you into that, you know, and it's not that maybe sometimes. You're just sometimes just knowing that person, and people always want to know labels. People always want to know what's going on, you know, because that's what people like. Some people, a lot of society just consume of. It's like what they're eating, you know? It's like, oh, what's going to happen, you know? Or more feed or whatever. And that's how I feel sometimes. And it's just like, no, like that's not how you have to see it sometimes, you know? It's just what it is at the moment, you know? You just live the moment. It's happening and that's it.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel like a lot should just feel. Like you shouldn't just, you know, like take everything slow. Take it by day, because people say, "Oh, I know you so much. Oh, I know her. You don't know her." Like, no, dude, I don't even know myself, and I'm still not finished knowing myself.
Right.
You know, like people can't tell me they know me, and I'm just like, I always stop somebody when they tell me that. I'm like, I don't even know myself enough, and I'm never going to, because I keep growing, I keep changing, you know, and that's how it is. You might think, like a possibility of you think or a view that you know me, but you don't.
Yeah.
You know, you just don't.
Yeah.
And when people get to know you sometimes more and stuff, they actually told me, like, oh, I never thought you would have been like that and stuff, because you don't know me, you know? You just assume you thought who I was, but you didn't know.
Yeah, and that comes to, like, something I've been thinking a while, is that, and it's, like, even scientific. Like, they were saying how putting labels to things, or what was it? It was something like that. Like, labeling something made you enjoy it less, and then made it, like... So, I guess that's different. But just that saying, like, putting labels to things, it makes you think, like, that's all they are. I think that's the point that you were going, right? Like, but they're more than that, you know? And sometimes, as we label more and more, we think that they're just that, you know? And then there's more to it. That's, like... Sorry. That's what I think, like, a lot of scientists do, I feel like. Like we they create or recreate a model of how things are, and then we believe that that's true. But you know, you have to like kind of realize that it's just a model. It's just a way of thinking. Like it's a tool. Because I don't say labels are useless or don't use labels, but the problem with labels is that you start believing that that's all they are. So if like I don't know, I don't know, optimistic person, like that's a label. Or like he is, I don't know, he's ugly. Or I don't know, but I don't know. So whatever label, I'm not.
No, I understand. I get you. Like people start believing what you tell them. You know?
Yeah. It's like when you meet a new person, I think you have to be open to whatever they are. Like okay, you have the first impressions, but don't believe only that, right? I think that's what you're saying. To like, well, that's what I'm saying. What you're saying is that don't even have any labels. Just kind of take it all. The moment that you start labeling it, you stop enjoying. You start like I don't know.
Yeah, because that's all it is. You know, you don't know the person. You don't. It's just a moment, and at that moment, that part of your life they're there for you. Then so be it. You know.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't have to be like, hey, let me call my best friend from 5 years ago, whatever. You know, it doesn't have to be like that. It can be the person at the moment, but the person in the time.
Yeah.
It's just feelings, emotions, or whatever it is, you know.
Yeah.
And that's the person that actually understands and connects with you. And that's what it is, you know.
Yeah.
And that's how it has to be. Like I'm not gonna say like, oh, I just met this person. How in the world am I gonna trust that? You know. Just an example. And it's like it can't. It's just what it is, you know, at the moment.
Yeah.
It's just a vibe, a connection, you know.
Yeah.
It's just sometimes something that you just can't fucking explain. It's just it is what it is.
But maybe it's a tangent or maybe it's on what you're saying, but like basically, you know, I can't like your example of talking to somebody, but you can't. But I just met him. How I'm gonna, you know, open up with that person? But do you feel like if you open a lot, you get hurt more? There's more chances to get hurt because sometimes you only open up because you feel like you can trust that person. So are you? Because the way I see it is like, you know what? Fuck it. If I get hurt, I get hurt. But you know, is that not a fear that you have? Because what's your response to that? Because you don't get hurt from opening up with people. If they're gonna criticize or judge you, or they're gonna talk behind your back, how do you deal with that?
I feel like you kind of know when you open up. And the thing is, like, I've been hurt so much in my life, right? That hurt is not a problem anymore. So I feel also now in the way is like you're always gonna get hurt in life. You just have to choose who you want them to hurt you. Okay. Does that make sense? Like you choose who you want for them to hurt you. You're always gonna get hurt in life. Yeah. It doesn't matter so big or so small. You just kind of choose who, you know. Yeah. And it sounds pretty shitty. That's like how it is sometimes. Yeah. Because it might not hurt you in a big way, but they might hurt you in a small way, you know, that you never thought you would have gotten hurt. Yeah. And sometimes, like, people don't hurt you, and that's fucking great. But I just, like, I feel like hurt is just to make, it's like, how much hurt can I take, you know? Kind of a way. I mean, it sounds pretty shitty. Like, how I see it now, it's like, when I get hurt, I'm like, oh, shit, that fucking hurt, you know? Yeah. I'm like, I kind of cure myself, and then I'm like, it heals, and I'm like, whatever hurts me now, I guess I've been hurt too much. Whatever tries to hurt me, it just doesn't hurt me anymore, you know? It's just like, damn, that's pretty cool. Like, it lasted while it lasted, and I'm like, that's nice, you know? Like, I had a good time. I just see the positive of things, you know? Yeah. Because at that moment, you were happy. And, like, once things go wrong or whatever it hurts, and you're just like, damn. You know, like, if I just rely on that and I don't see what the great things out of that came, you know, just, like, I see, like, darkness. Yeah. You know, and maybe it wasn't like that. Yeah. That's why I say people come into your life at certain times and frames. And, like, I do believe people come into your life for a certain reason, you know, and I do believe in it. Even though it's to hurt you and you know it was going to be shit since the beginning. But it showed you something and lessons and stuff. And I feel like it's fine because, like, I wouldn't be where I am because I wasn't there, you know? And I think it's totally fine because a lot of people don't understand that. That's why I don't hurt regrets anymore or grudges because they came in your life to show you something. And if it was just for that time frame, then it's for only that time. You can't push something. You can't force something. And people don't understand that. They force stuff. They force relationship. They force school. They force, you know, other stuff in their lives, you know, or life by itself. Yeah. You know, and then you can't do that. That's why you end up worse than what it would have been.
So your take is, well, I open up, and if people are shitty, actually, I will learn something from it. So even if it's shitty, it's gonna turn out good.
Yeah, definitely. Because the next time you're gonna be like, it wasn't that shitty, you know, like it's like.
And the more you do it, right, the more you do it, the less it affects you.
Yeah, and like then, to this point when I'm hurt, I'm like, you know what, like it's okay, like I went through worse, you know, like. What's next? You know, like what is life gonna throw me next? You know, because I think life itself is already hard. You just gotta play around it. And it sounds bad, but like technically that's how it is. You know. Yeah. Like I'm like, okay, we're shitty. Okay, I'm living. I have something to eat. I'm breathing. I'm like, okay, other people have it work. Other people want to breathe. Other people want to eat. And I'm just like, other people want something from me. You know, and I'm like, I should just be grateful. I'm like, there's still beautiful people out there, and I just know it. You know, it's like. Slowly but surely is gonna come to you, you know? Yeah. Like, that's why I say you can't pressure or force anything. Yeah. It's like everybody at this age is like, hey, I wish I was married. I wish I was like, I had my house. I had a lot of money, you know? Like, I wish I was done with my career. Like, everybody sees themselves, like, you know? The future. And then, if you force that and stuff or start getting stuff or, you know, like, it's not gonna work out for you, you know, because you should have taken slowly but surely, you know, that path. It's like when you go the easy way instead of the rough path, you know, kind of a thing. So it's like you can't force things. You're always gonna get hurt. You just gotta choose who for you to hurt you, and it's like that's how it is. Life is hard by itself. It's just play with it. It's like a toy. Just play with it, you know? If you find the best way with it or what makes you happy. Kind of a thing.
I feel like I'm learning them. Or like it's a lot of things. That's,
there's a lot to it.
I really,
You're as big as you see yourself all the time. Never doubt that. Yeah. People are always going to tell you can't. Especially if people that don't want you to make it, right? Yeah. Like I told you before, people are always going to help you. Yeah. But once you surpass them, they're not gonna like you anymore, right? Because they don't want you to do better than them. And a lot of people in society don't want that, right? Because they always want to be winning. They always want to be the top notch, you know? Yeah. And once you overcome that, they're not gonna be happy about it.
Yeah, well, we all, but I feel like we are like that. we all like that. It's a part of ourselves.
No,
because
no,
I get jealous. But
yeah,
you can
but like,
you can
it
choose
depends
to,
on the jealousy you take.
but you can choose that exactly. You can choose what you're gonna make of that jealousy. You can turn it into anger and hatred towards that person, or you can try to use it, I feel, to overcome yourself. But I think, like, for me at least, like, I experience it. Somebody beats me at something, and I'm jealous. But then I listen to that jealousy, and then I choose. But if I just let it choose for myself, I feel like...
I don't think that's in everybody, because I myself and my friends are, like, succeeding and stuff.
Yeah.
And sometimes we both went at it. I'm just, like, actually fucking happy. Because if you care for that person, you're happy.
Oh, if you care for that person, for sure.
Yeah, but like, you're like, damn, like, I'm fucking glad. And when people ask you about it, you're like, no, dude, like, that person fucking deserved it. Like, did you see how they work for it? Like, stuff like that, you know? Like, I'm always, like, like, talking great about them, you know? You can't just, like, be like, nah, dude, like, I should have earned, you know? Like, there's always, like, that's another thing with society that I don't understand.
Yeah.
There's out there's for everybody. You know, whatever, like, hay para todos. Like, it's just the saying, like, allá afuera hay para todos. There's for everybody. There's never gonna finish. You just gotta work for it, you know?
Oh, there's enough for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, like, así como when you're in relationships too, ahí hay chingo de viejas. There's a lot of guys and men, you know? Like, you shouldn't be stuck with one person. It's not the end of the world. It's the same thing. So when you're chasing things, you're getting things, you know?
Yeah.
There's so much out there. Like, what's stopping
it's
you?
It's like, so if somebody wins, you're like...
Like, don't be stuck. Okay, they got it. So what? There's so much out there for you, too. And
their mentality would be, oh, well, it's one less job that I can't get. And he took it from me.
Yeah, well, that's bad because they're not realizing there's much out there.
Right.
You know what? And, like, honestly, sometimes when, like, shit like that happens, I'm just like, dude, there's better out there, like, for me. I'm like, there's probably some better opportunity for myself there, actually.
For real.
Like, that wasn't even for me. Like, I take it like, you know what? Like, maybe I didn't belong there. Like, there's something way better out there for me. And I always think like that. Like, there's something way better out there for me. You know? Like, why am I tripping over it? Like, because I'm like, do you know yourself? I'm like, and once I, like, tell myself who I am, I'm like, shit, like, there's something better out there for me, you know?
Yeah, well, the way I see it is, I get jealous of other people because they succeed. And I'm like, I wanted that. But then again, it's like what you're saying. There's a lot out there, but then the other thing is that the way I see it is I wasn't in that position to do that. Like, say, like, I have another direction. He wanted to do that, and that's why he got that. So we're going different routes. It's not the same. It's not the same for.
But you realize this throughout the process, though. At that moment, you weren't at that place, you know. Like, you know, like, after you figure out that what you want to do and stuff, like, you figure out, like, hey, maybe that wasn't the best option. This is what I want, you know.
Yeah.
Like, you're focused now.
Yeah.
And it's understandable. Yeah, like, I'm telling you, things happen for a reason. You know. And sometimes it's shitty. Like, it's telling you, like, it hurts you, but then you realize, like, honestly, like, I didn't want that. Like, honestly, I wanted this. And if that wouldn't happen, I wouldn't have done this. You know, because sometimes we take stuff that we don't want to, or you're like, fuck it, because that's going to help me. Well, you think it's going to help you. But sometimes the things that don't come in our life, when we try to push it, is because it's trying to tell us, like, hey, don't make a mistake. Hey, like, there's better out there for you. You know?
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah. I mean, there's people who also... I guess it's a bad example of what I was thinking, but yeah.
Wow.
That's good. Do you want... No! No, let's give it 20 more minutes. I know. Let's give it a little bit more. It's just, I process things, like, slower. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it takes a little while.
Well.
Yeah.
There's a lot to life.
Yeah, there's a lot.
And it's like, life has, like, a lot. It's like a chart.
Yeah.
Not a diagram. There's just, like, a lot of connections to it, and more connections. Did
you say that chart?
It's like
not
that tree, you know?
The tree. Oh, okay.
And it's like a bunch of branches. And one branch has more branches. And one other branch has more branches. And there's just a lot of compartments to it, you know? It's like you're trying to reach the middle, but we won't. Because we're trying to understand it. And I told you life is hard. We're just trying to go through all those branches, you know? And we have to taste all of those branches because we're life because we're living. So we have to try all of those branches, you know?
Yeah.
That's how it is.
I feel like the world is really... Yeah, like, it's beautiful and there's a lot of opportunities out there. and I get sad when like, well, there's so much out there and so much beautiful. There's not a lot of reasons to be overly, well, sad or depressed, I guess. Sorry, yeah. But there's like, once I think it's also, I guess people are depressed because of like, I was gonna say that there aren't people there for them. They feel isolated. Okay, it's because I'm just thinking through. But well, at least for me, like reflecting on like all the good things that there is in life and all the things that are given to me, are helpful. Kind of like having a better life, being happier. And for me, I think the things that make me unhappy is like other people that kind of like are rude or mean or something, and kind of like, and then that's the thing that upsets me. Like, they're unhappy, and then I feel like, oh, you get another phone call.
Yeah, well.
Just, okay, but like I was saying, yeah, there's shitty people, and then they're just mean, and it just makes like life worse, I guess. But I think for me also is saying that, like I shouldn't put my happiness or my joyfulness in other people. And then if anything, every time I feel I'm unhappy, that's when I'm mean to people. I'm rude. I'm cruel. And so every time like I take care of myself, and so I think that other people, it's like that. They're having a lot of issues and problems, and they don't see it, and then that's why they're so mean. They failed too many times, and then now they're broken. They had too many bad relationships. They got hurt as a child, and then they never got to escape that that dynamic. And so that's the way I see it. And then the only thing that I think I'm left is like feel sad for them. You know what I mean? But when it's hard for me is when it gets to me. Like maybe a family member, kind of, it's the one that hurts you, and it feels like you can't get away. That's when it makes me the most upset, because there's things that it feels like you can't get away with, can't get away, and it's gonna last forever. Like when somebody, like somebody enters your room and then kind of fucking yells at you, and then, or maybe, hurts you, or they start telling you to do stuff, taking from your time, kind of fucking grabbing you, and that's kind of the things that it feels like they're gonna last forever, and then you can't get away from. But that's not true, those things are not true. And then the next day comes, and even that same person, you can, if you breathe in, and you kind of, you can let it go, and then you start anew, I feel like, and then see that person for for what it is. Now, if it happens, I think I guess, sorry, I'm kind of getting off tangent, but I guess if it repeats too many times, like, then that means that you have shitty relationships, right? I guess I'm talking about kind of like my childhood. But it's for other people to listen, okay? So for other people, it's about... maybe I'll cut this part out. No, it's fine. But I'm saying, like, if you have a lot of times where, people are rude or mean, like, that's something to... And then you feel like you have no safe space, no area where you can just breathe. Then you probably have to leave that relationship, that place. You have to, like, the first escape that you can get, and then because we all need that space, and then that's intrusion. That's what really the problem, and that's life, right? Like, it's okay that happens, but the moment that you feel like you can't get away from it, that's when I feel like you lose hope, and then you become bad, a bad person. I think that's what happens to a lot of people. Like, even though that they're at their job and they can get away from it, they feel like they're stuck, and because they're stuck, and then they always hit, they just become angry. You know what I mean? And that's at least in childhood, right? Like the same thing. You're at home, and then your dad, your mom, not physically, right? Or it could be, right? But mentally, like they talk to you less. They say like you can't do anything. They start bossing you around, and then they tell you, they take your time, and then you kind of like. And then they hit you, and you have not that place to breathe in, let it all out, kind of clear yourself, like, and then feel better. and then look for your path. People get like they feel like they're trapped, and then they're getting hurt, and that's the problem, that they don't see that they're not trapped. They don't see that they're not trapped, and if they are, they don't see that they can't get out. Either of the two, they feel like they can't get out, but they can, it's hard to explain, but I think that's what happens. And then sometimes it is true. You're trapped. If you're a child, you are trapped, where your parents take care of you, and then that's kind of fucked up, right? Like, there's fucked up people that have children just because fucking feels good, and then there's just a bunch of babies everywhere, and now they have shitty parents that are gonna fuck them up for a while because they have. And it's like that experiment where the dog, if it has what was it? Oh, they electrocute a fence, right? So every time he touches it, what was it? Oh, okay, I think he has a leash, and every time he moves far away from the leash, it gets electrocuted. And then once they kind of remove the leash, or it stops electrocuting, the dog stops trying to get out. And it takes a while for the dog. He has to be retaught that he can escape. But it's called learned helplessness. And then I think that's what happens, Like, once the bad experience is out, we feel like it's still going to happen to us. And I think that's what a lot of it, too, is to learn helplessness. We learn that, there's nothing that we can do, but it's just like it's like 3-4 times that it's shitty, right?
Well, the way that I understand to whatever it is, like, that's the only way, like, I don't believe that. Because it's like, I feel there's always other ways. It's because you're repeating the same story. Because you choose to, though.
Exactly.
So, like, that's all
people don't see it sometimes, that it's a choice.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So instead of going out other ways, it's like, it's like how you say when you feel trapped, like, you're there, but, like, you can't leave, right? Yeah. So it's like you're in a house. So in a house you have windows and doors and whatever. Okay. So like you're always trying to leave from the door, right, or whatever. But once you reach the door, it kind of like jumps you back up to the reality you can leave. Because like you're being attacked, like you said, but like you're there, but like you can't leave. So like it's like you're just being isolated. Like that's your only way out. When in reality, maybe they were covering the windows and it's the other way out, That's just like another path to it, the things that we don't see, Like because we're always taught that that's the only way you come in and the only way you get out, right? Right. In a house. Yeah. So like, I feel
I see. So you're saying like the metaphor of the window. Like the window, you could use it to get in and get out.
But you weren't taught that, Exactly. Like you don't see the out of it.
And then people, they block the door, but there's that window that you can get out of. Exactly. That you just have to learn that's another way to get out. Mm-hmm.
That's another way.
That's a beautiful metaphor. I didn't understand it, but now that I understand, it's really good.
Because you're taught only in and out from the door, That's how you go into a house. Yeah. But no, there's other ways, Wow. Or you can break a wall.
You can break a wall.
I'm just kidding. That was just overboard.
You would break a wall. Would you break a wall?
I would.
You would. That's
I wouldn't
badass.
care.
Yeah.
But I feel that's how.
So what do you have to say to tell the world? I
always have to say to the world to not be shitty people. There's help out there no matter what. Yeah. You just gotta find it. Yeah. Even if the people you expect less, actually, they'll be there for you and try always to help one each other. Don't be selfish. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, it's just us human trying to help each other, We can't live in society. We just live. Yeah. Build your own life and do what you believe is right and believe in whatever it is for you. Right. I would say, and you're as big as you see yourself. Don't let nobody tell you. Yeah, you're as big that as you're otherwise. People are always gonna come tell you that you're not. And they're going to try to put your hopes in, but they wouldn't know that you're probably going to be their next boss. So, yeah. Hey. And then you just keep dreaming. Everybody love yourself. And always love yourself before you love somebody else. Yeah. That's one of the things. And that's one of the things I'm learning myself. Is loving myself. And once you overcome that of yourself in confidence, then you're okay. I feel.
Yeah. And there's a window. And
there's the window.
It's and you can break the wall.
You can break the wall.
If you're a Jacky, remember that you can, or become a Jacky. Yes. And then if there's no window, break the wall.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
There's always one way, you know, you can't just give up.
And then there's counseling, at least at the university, and it's free.
Yeah.
And there's no shame, I guess, and it's good. Like, at least it helps, right? And then, yeah, there was another thing. Yeah, but yeah.
Definitely.
Definitely. Okay. So, hey, Jackie, it was great talking to you. It was amazing. Do you feel it was good?
Yes.
It wasn't good. It was amazing.
It was more than amazing.
It was more than amazing. Hey, we just hit the hour. So all right. Thank you.
Thank you.